Well, welcome to the studio again, Jon Wedger, former copper, whistleblower with the Metropolitan Police. You're not hamstrung by being a copper anymore, you can say what you like, and you did last time as well. But after you told me that Sadiq Khan's claims that there was no rape gang problem in London were basically a crock of crap. Yeah. Well, it turns out the Daily Express has teamed up with the My London website. They've done an investigation which has established that young girls are being raped in hotels by men, mainly of Pakistani origin, Muslim men of Pakistani origin. So the same syndrome we've seen all over the country. So they're saying that Mayor Khan either literally does not know the truth or he's absolutely flat out lying. I know what some of his political opponents believe, but let's give him the credit for, give him the sort of benefit of the doubt. Let's just say he doesn't know about it. But reiterate for us, Jon, why it is that, what it is that Sadiq Khan needs to know that is going on in the capital city here.
Well, it's shameful that it takes the Daily Express to bring to the front something that really is very much in the public interest. And again, the age groups, I did read the report, you know, 17 down to 12 years old. And this is going on. And it just goes to show when I was sort of removed from that post in the early 2000s, nothing's changed. The only thing that's changed seems to be the ethnicity of those doing it. It's the same algorithm all the time. And, you know, to put the money where my mouth is, after I appeared on your show a couple of weeks ago, I was approached by a production company that make documentaries, and they were horrified and outraged by my claims. And they said, you know, is this really going on? So I said, well, come with me and let's prove it. Yeah. We went out on the streets of London. We went to rough areas, which were what they call known red light areas. So the police know about these areas. Within 90 minutes, we found a girl there. She'd been on the street from the age of 14. She was actually being sort of exploited, pimped out by her mother. So, you know, but even more horrific. But she'd been on the streets. She said at no point had the police ever intervened or anyone come out to help her. She then gave us information of 3 other girls. One of them was a young Somali girl, and she said to us, this girl is extremely young. We went further down the road to look for her. We met up with another street worker who said, yeah, this girl, you've just missed her. She's just gone, and she's very, very young. So within 90 minutes, we'd found one girl that although she was out the age group now, but she had been on there from the age of 14, and 3 girls, one being extremely young, all young girls, all sort of shouldn't be there at all, on the street. So that's the street scene, which is a very dangerous and precarious scene. And we've not yet explored, like I mentioned last time, the children's homes, which is the main areas that are targeted.
Yeah, well, tell us about that again, because you were telling us that what you tried to alert the police to and the authorities to was the fact that kids were being almost pimped out, or at least let go by children's homes, orphanages, and these poor kids were picked up by guys in, you know, flash cars and then taken to hotels, to rooms above shops and things like that, and serially basically plied with drugs, drink and raped. Yep.
Now, what I did was I got a list of the children's home for one London borough, and I think there's in the late 20s in respect to London boroughs. One I picked on was Haringey. There was 26 kids' homes. I rang them up and I just boldly asked, how many children have you got? One of the first ones I rang, they had 6 children, and I said, how many children do you lose at the weekend to this criminality? 5. 5 out of the 6. It's just absolutely appalling. Young girls, but what makes it worse, Kevin, these are children that are known to the authorities. They are regular missing persons. At no point is anyone debriefing them, and the social services really went for me because they had to put in emergency care plans, so it was a big pain in the backside for them to do that.
Sorry about that. Sorry they had to do their job. So what we're talking about here in London is that it seems that exactly the same syndrome that happened in the north is happening here, that these kids are being exploited, they're being raped, they're being plied with drink and drugs, and the authorities, including allegedly the London mayor, are acting like it's not happening and turning their backs.
Well, if we look at the information getting to the mayor, I reported this to the senior officer for the Metropolitan Police Vice Unit, and he told me, if you mention a word of this, you will lose your home, your job and your children. Shut your effing mouth. Now, also what we got to look at is if they want to report this. Now, one of the key dates in the calendar for people reporting historic child abuse crimes is New Year's Day. And a lot of people, when you speak to them on historic cases, they say, I've got, new start for the year, I'm going to report my offenders. They would go to a police station where they knew that there would be an officer who could then get, usually a female officer that's specially trained in sexual offences down, take them into a side room where, they've got anonymity and discretion to report these claims. They've now shut down all the front offices. They've gone. Typical. And also in my day, when I was a young budding detective, if we got crimes allocated to us, it was very difficult to get a crime written off as no further action. An officer contacted me who works for many years on the police's crime reporting desk. He's told me that they are encouraged to write off and no further action 80% of reported crimes. 80%.
It doesn't surprise me somehow. Listen, this is Sadiq Khan not so long ago being quizzed about grooming gangs at the London Assembly.
These have obviously been found in many, many other cities and towns around the country, but there hasn't been much of many prosecutions happened in London. But, obviously, as the police commissioner for Northumberland said, this is happening anywhere, and the only reason why it's not being found is that people aren't looking. Are you looking in London for grooming gangs in London in order to prosecute people? Because if it's going on in cities like Oxford and Bristol and Peterborough and Aylesbury, smaller places, it's surely going on in London as well on a large scale.
Can I just be clear, Chair? Is the inference that because of my faith or my ethnic origin, I'm not seeking to follow these crimes?
No. I'm asking you because you're the Police and Crime Commissioner.
Assemblymember Curtin, I think you're pretty much drifting now onto drifting off the subject itself. So can I just ask you to stick to the topic and ask a relevant question, please?
Well, Chair, I mean, I was originally asking about Black Lives Matter, and then the Mayor started talking about slavery, and the questioning has developed.
Yeah, but you're still going off the tangent now, so can you please be cautious about that and not ask...
Okay, well, Chair, if you want to disallow my question, that's your prerogative.
Well, this seems to be the pattern of events surrounding this ongoing scandal. Let's get this straight. The rape gang scandal is not over. It's happening all over the country, and now we have reason to believe, partly because of Jon, but partly because of a recent investigation by the Daily Express and My London, the website, that it's going on badly here in London. Now, Chris Philp, the Shadow Home Secretary, said, "It is shameful that the Mayor of London is claiming to have no indication that grooming gangs are operating in London, despite personally responding to reports containing evidence of victims abused by grooming gangs in the city. It is clear Sadiq Khan is facilitating a cover-up." Reform UK MP Lee Anderson said the Mayor had serious questions to answer. He added, "There is real, credible evidence that grooming gangs exist in London, and for the Mayor to have potentially turned a blind eye is utterly shameful." Lee Anderson carried on by saying that the UK could not go on making the same catastrophic errors we saw in Rochdale, Rotherham and all over the country. He demanded that victims receive proper justice. So it does look as if, I mean, Sadiq Khan will no doubt deny this, but it looks as if there's a very real possibility that what we saw in towns like Rotherham and Rochdale is going on down here in London.
Well, we proved it the other night. So we went out within 90 minutes we had the evidence of young kids under the age of 16 actively out on the streets engaged in sex work, and all the health hazards that you know, and the risks to life that they're exposed to. And when we asked the street workers out there, do the police come along, they said no, we've never seen police, not for years. So you're not getting, like I mentioned last time, you need proactive policing for this issue. It's hidden, it's covert, it doesn't present itself. You need to go out there and do it, and it's easy to do. And I took out the film crew that got in touch with your station last week. I took them out, and within 90 minutes, I proved myself right. Within 90 minutes.
Well, there you go, folks. This is Jon Wedger, former copper, who whistle blew on this many years ago. He says it's still going on. The Express and the My London website have, in their view, established beyond all doubt that it's still going on. We have a mayor who keeps saying he doesn't recognise that this is going on. Is this happening again in London? That we got the authorities deliberately turning a blind eye? You saw Sadiq Khan there saying, "You're asking me this because of my Muslim faith." Just trying to play the race card. No. I think that councillor was asking you, Sadiq, because he's worried about the fate of vulnerable young girls on the street of the capital city, London, the one that you're supposed to be the mayor of. We've got to do something, haven't we, John?
Can I mention something?
Yeah, please.
If he's bringing ethnicity into this, from my experience, those men that are having sex with these young girls, that makes them paedophiles.
Yes.
And paedophiles is what they call trisexual. They don't care what colour a kid is, and they don't sometimes care what gender the kid is.
Yeah.
So if these are Asian men that are doing it, there's every chance they'll be doing it to kids within their own ethnicity. So if you ignore it, saying that this ethnic group are doing it, you're actually failing the child victims of your own ethnic group.
So you're saying that right now you're absolutely, utterly convinced, and the Express and My London would tend to confirm this, that children, young girls, vulnerable girls,
yeah,
some of them underage, as we speak, are being sexually exploited by rape gangs.
And I proved it a couple of days ago on the street.
That is shocking, isn't it, folks? Let me know what you think. 03444 991 1000.